Bienvenidos al segundo episodio de How to Say en español. Hoy vamos a aprender cómo preguntar algo sobre las prendas en una tienda de ropa. También vamos a ver cómo preguntar por los diseños, las telas, los colores, las tallas diferentes y los precios. Welcome to the second episode of How to Say in Spanish. Today we're going to learn how to ask for clothes at a fashion store. Furthermore, we will have a look at how to ask for different patterns, fabrics, colors, and sizes, and of course the price as well. Empecemos. Let's get started. In the following, we will at first have a look at the question, la pregunta, and after it at the answer, la respuesta. Before we start with the first question, here's a small information. When you talk to strangers or people that you do not know, you should use the polite version, which is the third person singular and the third person plural. Usted, ustedes. When you go into a store, the seller would ask you, "How can I help you?" ¿En qué puedo ayudarle? ¿En qué? In what? Puedo? Can I? Ayudarle. Help you. ¿En qué puedo ayudarle? Or the seller directly could ask, "What are you looking for?" ¿Qué desea? Or ¿qué desean? ¿Qué? What? Desea? Do you want? The verb desea is conjugated for one person. But if you are more than one person, the seller would say, ¿Qué desean? ¿Qué? What? Desean? Do you want? If you, for example, go shopping with your friends, then you could answer, quería, I would like to have, or queríamos, we would like to have. Quería, queríamos. Of course, there are also other options. For example, you could say, busco, I search, or buscamos, we search. Busco, buscamos. And if you, for example, are invited to a celebration and need special clothes for this, you could say, necesito, or necesitamos. Necesito, I need, necesitamos, we need. But if you don't need or if you don't search for a specific clothing, you could say, solo quería mirar, or solo queríamos mirar. Solo quería, I just want, mirar, to watch. But if you're shopping with your friends, you should say, solo queríamos, we just want, mirar, to watch. Solo quería mirar, or solo queríamos mirar. Then the seller knows that you need time to look what products they offer. But now let's say you have a specific thing that you need. For example, a plain shirt. So you say, I search a plain shirt. You should say, busco una camiseta lisa. Busco, I search, una camiseta lisa. A plain shirt. Busco una camiseta lisa. Then the seller could ask you, in which color do you want it? ¿De qué color la quiere? ¿De qué? In which? Color, color. Quiere, do you want? La, it. ¿De qué color la quiere? Here's a small reminder. To make a sentence more fluently and short, you can replace the noun with a type of the pronouns. You can replace a male word with lo and a female word with la. So let's take the word of the example that we just have had. The word la camiseta is a female word. Now let's replace it in the previous question with the pronoun. So instead of saying ¿de qué color quiere la camiseta?, you should say ¿de qué color la quiere? So la camiseta is replaced with the pronoun la. In general, you can say both. Both is correct. But replacing the noun makes it easier and fluently. So actually the pronoun la means la camiseta. Just note that the word is written after the verb, but the pronoun, when replacing the word, is written before the verb. So you say, ¿de qué color quiere la camiseta? So the word la camiseta is at the end of the sentence, but when replacing it with the pronoun la, it is written before the verb. ¿De qué color la quiere? And if you talk about more than one shirt, you have to say ¿de qué color las quiere? Because las is the plural form of la. Now let's make the same example with a male word. El pantalón. ¿De qué color quiere el pantalón? Now we replace the word with a pronoun and write the pronoun before the verb. ¿De qué color lo quiere? And if you talk about more than one trouser, you can say ¿de qué color los quiere? That's because los is the plural form of lo. To answer that question, let's use the female example. Then you could say la quiero en azul. La replaces the pronoun and means actually la camiseta. So, it meaning the shirt. Quiero, I want, en azul, in blue. La quiero en azul. And of course you can use the same sentence with a male word or the male pronoun. But if the seller already has given you a shirt, but you do not like the color of the shirt and want to make sure if this shirt is available in other colors, you can say, don't you have it in another color? ¿No la tiene en otro color? No, don't, la, for replacing a female word, or you can also use lo if you have a male word. Tiene, you have, en otro color, in another color. No la tiene en otro color. Or if it's a male word that you're talking about, you can say, no lo tiene en otro color. Then the seller could say, sí, claro. Sí, yes, claro, of course. Or he could say, sí, cómo no. Sí, yes, cómo no, how not. Basically meaning, of course we have. And if the seller doesn't have the shirt in another color, he can say, lamentablemente no. Lamentablemente, unfortunately, no, not. Lamentablemente no. And if the shirt is not at all available in any other color, because it's a single piece, he could say, no, esa es una pieza única. No, no, esa es, it is, or this is, una pieza única, a single piece. No, esa es una pieza única. After you've chosen the color, the seller maybe asks you for what fabric you prefer. So the question, in which fabric do you prefer them? In this case, we used the shoes as example. He or she would say in Spanish, ¿de qué tela los prefiere? ¿De qué, which, or from which, tela, fabric, los, them, meaning the shoes, which is in Spanish male and plural, los zapatos, and we replace it with a pronoun and only say los. Quiere, do you want? ¿De qué tela los quiere? Then you could easily mention the material or the fabric. De cuero, of leather. De algodón, of cotton. De seda, of silk. De lana, of wool. The next question is, do you also have a flowered blouse? ¿Tiene también una blusa de flores? Tiene, do you have, también, also, una blusa de flores, a flowered blouse? ¿Tiene también una blusa de flores? And if you search another pattern, you could ask for ¿tiene también una blusa a cuatros? Meaning, do you also have a checked blouse? ¿Tiene también una blusa a cuatros? Another option would be ¿tiene también una blusa a rayas? Meaning, do you also have a striped blouse? ¿Tiene también una blusa a rayas? And another option, ¿tiene también una blusa con puntos? Do you also have a dotted blouse? ¿Tiene también una blusa con puntos? Here's a small reminder that you always have to conform adjectives and articles in Spanish, according to the noun if it's a male, female, singular, or plural noun. So let's take the same question just with another adjective. We use the adjective pequeña, which means small. And the noun is a female noun, la blusa. So you should say, tiene también una blusa pequeña. The ending of the article and as well as the adjective share the same ending, which is a. A indicates that it's a female noun. If we have a male word, for example, el sombrero, the hat, we should say, tiene también un sombrero pequeño. So the article doesn't get an ending because un is the male version and the previous pequeña turns into pequeño because we have a male noun. As conclusion, we can say the adjectives always exist in two versions, in a female and in a male version. The answer to that question would be, le mostraré la blusa. Le mostraré, I will show to you, la blusa, the blouse. After you've chosen the color, the fabric, and the pattern, it is now time to make sure about the size. So the seller would ask you, which size do you need? ¿Qué talla necesita? ¿Qué talla, which size, necesita, do you need? Then you easily can say, necesito, I need, necesito, and then you can mention the size. And it doesn't matter if the size is a letter or a number. The next question is, do you have a matching trouser? ¿Tiene también pantalones a juego? Tiene, do you have, también, also, pantalones a juego, a matching trouser to it? ¿Tiene también pantalones a juego? Then if the seller would choose a trouser for you and wants to know if you like the trouser, he could ask you, ¿qué le parece este pantalón? ¿Qué, how, le parece, do you like, este pantalón, this trouser? ¿Qué le parece este pantalón? But he has another option to ask the same question. He could say, ¿le gusta este pantalón? ¿Le gusta, do you like, este pantalón, this trouser? And if you do like the trouser, you can answer, me gusta mucho. Me gusta, I like it. Mucho, very much. Me gusta mucho. And if the trouser fits like a glove, you can say, el pantalón se ajusta como un guante. El pantalón, the trouser, se ajusta, fits, como un guante, like a glove. El pantalón se ajusta como un guante. And if it fits well or it's looking good on you, you can say, me queda bien. Me queda, it fits, bien, well. But if somehow the trouser is not your style, you can say, for example, no sé, quizá un poco elegante. Lo quiero más clásico. No sé, I don't know. Quizá un poco elegante, maybe a little bit elegant. Lo quiero, I want it. Más clásico, more classic or basic. No sé, quizá un poco elegante. Lo quiero más clásico. And of course you can use the same sentence and add other words of styles or even adjectives. This was just an example or an option. And in the case the trouser looks good on you and you would like to keep it but it's a little bit loose, you can say, está demasiado suelto, ¿tiene un cinturón? Está demasiado suelto. It is too loose. Tiene, do you have, un cinturón, a belt? Está demasiado suelto. ¿Tiene un cinturón? But you can of course also ask to get it in another size. But now we will use shoes again in these examples. But of course you can also replace it with any other clothing. The shoes are too big. Do you have them 3 sizes smaller? Los zapatos son demasiado grandes. ¿Los tiene 3 tallas más pequeñas? Due to the fact that it's a long sentence, let's separate it into 2 parts. Los zapatos, the shoes, son demasiado, are too grandes, big. Los zapatos son demasiado grandes. The second part is, los tiene, do you have them? 3 tallas, 3 sizes, más pequeñas, smaller. And remember that the pronoun los replaces the word the shoes. ¿Los tiene 3 tallas más pequeñas? Then the seller easily could say yes, but if it's not the case, then he could say, desgraciadamente no, es la talla más pequeña. Desgraciadamente no, unfortunately not. Es la, that's the, talla más pequeña, smallest size. Desgraciadamente no, es la talla más pequeña. And if you try on, let's imagine a dress, and you want to know the opinion of another person or of the seller that is consulting you, you could say, may I ask you for your opinion on this dress? ¿Puedo pedirle su opinión sobre este vestido? ¿Puedo, may I, pedirle, ask you, su opinión, for your opinion, sobre este vestido, on this dress? ¿Puedo pedirle su opinión sobre este vestido? But you also have another option to ask that question. You could say, ¿qué piensa de este vestido? ¿Qué, what, piensa, do you think, de este vestido, on this dress? ¿Qué piensa de este vestido? Then that person could answer, le queda muy bien. Le queda, it suits you, muy bien, very well. Le queda muy bien. The next question is, where can I find the jewelry? ¿Dónde puedo encontrar las joyas? ¿Dónde, where, puedo encontrar, can I find, las joyas, the jewelry? ¿Dónde puedo encontrar las joyas? Then the seller could answer, están en la segunda planta. Están, it is located. En la segunda, in the second, planta, floor. Están en la segunda planta. Or he could, for example, say, aquí mismo, a la derecha. Aquí mismo, right here. A la derecha, on the right side. Aquí mismo, a la derecha. If you decided to buy, for example, a necklace, you could say, quiero comprar este collar. Quiero, I want. Comprar, to buy. Este collar, this necklace. Quiero comprar este collar. Or you could say, me lo llevo, or me la llevo. Here again you use lo for replacing a male word and la for replacing a female word. In our case, el collar is male, so we would say, me lo llevo. Me lo, I, it, llevo, take, meaning I take it, me lo llevo. But if the price is not mentioned, you could ask this, how much does this suit cost? ¿Cuánto cuesta este traje? ¿Cuánto cuesta, how much does cost, este traje, this suit? ¿Cuánto cuesta este traje? Then the seller could answer, el traje cuesta. El traje, the suit, cuesta, costs. El traje cuesta. If you decided to buy a product, the seller will ask you, ¿quiere pagar en efectivo o con tarjeta? ¿Quiere pagar, do you want to pay, en efectivo, in cash, o con tarjeta, or by card? ¿Quiere pagar en efectivo o con tarjeta? Then you could answer, pago en efectivo, or pago con tarjeta. Pago, I pay. En efectivo, in cash. Or con tarjeta, by card. Pago en efectivo, or pago con tarjeta. And after you've paid the amount, the seller usually asks this. ¿Necesita una bolsa? ¿Necesita, do you need? Una bolsa, a bag. Necesita una bolsa. Then you could answer if you want or need a bag. Sí, por favor, eso sería útil. Sí, por favor. Yes, please. Eso sería, that would be, útil, useful. Sí, por favor, eso sería útil. After you're finished completely, you can say to the seller, Muchas gracias, adiós. Thank you, bye. Gracias por ver el video. Si necesitas practicar más sobre el vocabulario de la ropa, mira este video. Y si tienes preguntas, descríbelas en los comentarios. Thank you for watching the video. And if you need more practice about the vocabulary of clothes, then watch this video. And if you have any questions, comment them below.